And we're recording. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Collector's Thoughts. I'm your host, Joe, Respawn Granted, and my co-host, as always, Mike, aka Real Batman. How you doing today, man?
I'm hanging in there. How about you guys?
Pretty good, man. Hopefully everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. As you guys know, we took a little bit of a break, but now we're back and we're, got some exciting news. This video is sponsored by nobody. We're not sponsored yet. We're not that big yet. So, but I just wanted to throw it out there. Maybe one day.
Never know.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we wanted to start off right off the bat with scalpers and the nonsense that's happening with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. So I'm a big video game guy. I'm still into consoles and all that. I know you have kind of drifted away from it, but even you have noticed it. So why don't you start us off, bud? What do you want to tell us?
Let's just start off with the elephant in the room. Let's just get it out of the way. $32,000 for a $500 console on eBay is absolutely ridiculous, dude. How do you have the gall to even post that? I mean, this happened with the PS3 back in the day where they had it on eBay for like $1,500, and I thought that was absurd. $32,000. Who is the asshole? Pardon my French. That's going to pay $30,000. I could buy a car for that money, cash. Who's the jackass that's pay that guy $2,000 for a $500 console?
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Dude,
anybody you know?
No. If you find out I have some dirt in the backyard that I'll sell to them, I'll say it's like magic sand from the moon. I'll charge like $10 a bag, dude. That's insane, dude. And the thing is, right before we started shooting this, I went on eBay and just took a quick look at both the Xbox and the PlayStation. And I think the cheapest one I've seen was about $800 or $900. That's insane.
Wow.
Yeah. And the thing is, okay, so that's already about double the price. Now, one thing that really kind of bothers me is that I've heard stories on YouTube and a few other places of people that work for example, GameStop, and the employees are buying up all the pre-orders before it even officially launches, and right as they buy them, they're turning around and selling them on eBay. So then when me or you or anybody else walk into GameStop or any other places, we're all sold out of pre-orders. That's because you, Tom, and Dick over there bought all 10 of them, and you guys have them on eBay for about $1,000, $1,200 or more. That's bullshit, dude. That's ridiculous.
The only thing I've said this before on this channel when we talked about I think episode 1, NECA versus scalpers. I've said it on Real Batman's channel, my channel. Where I went off on a rant on scalpers because of figures. Enablers. There are people out there that are obviously buying and paying these ridiculous prices. And as long as that continues, they're not going to stop. The only way to combat this is, just patience is a virtue. Wait, you'll get yours. You know what I mean? Just stop buying from these clowns. And I said it on my channel, and I apologize. I'm going to say it on this channel. If you're a scalper and you're doing this and you're taking advantage of gamers, you're taking advantage of collectors who collect figures, you're a piece of crap. And I get it, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Times are tough. It's a scary world out there. People are trying to find different ways to survive and make money. I'm all for that. Okay? But damn, if the system's $500 and you buy it and then you turn around and flip it for $600, that's already $100 that you've made just like that. Okay? Apparently that's not enough. You got to list it for $1,000, $1,500. When I saw 32,000, I sent you the picture of it on my feed because I couldn't even believe that. $32,000. Who's the asshole that's going to pay $32,000 for that console?
They're not.
And I'd love to because I don't care how much money you have or how much credit limit you have on your credit card. That's just asinine. And the bigger question that we should all be asking here is, why aren't these companies doing something about this? These people are making more money on their product than the companies who are footing the bill and have the payroll and have the overhead to make the product. It doesn't make any sense how this continues to happen. It's not just about people buying for them and being enablers. What are these companies doing about this? Apparently not much, because it continues to happen.
And that's the thing. It's now. Let's just take a step back real quick. The way I am, okay, me personally, I never buy a system when it first comes out. I always wait after the first year or so anyway, because one, they get all the bugs fixed out of it. There's usually a stronger model with, like, bundles and stuff like that. You usually get more bang for your buck. So for me personally, this does not affect me because I always wait that year or two anyway. So that's just me personally. But for the people that really want the systems right away for Christmas gifts or whatever, this screws them. This screws them big time. And the problem is like you said, they're selling. It's not like they're putting these things on eBay and then they're just sitting. They're selling. There's even stories that I've heard where people bought the Xbox today, the pre-order today. They put it on like Facebook Marketplace for $800 and it sells within the day. Okay, so I do blame the scalpers because they're buying it all up before anyone can even get a chance. But in the same sense, if you just stop and think for a second, you're not only paying the $500 for that system, but now you're paying another $300, $400, $500 for it, which you could have bought two systems. There's a chance that that system might be flawed because it's brand new, and a lot of new technology is flawed. And now you just spent that money to have a system that could potentially have, let's remember the Xbox 360, the red ring of death. That affected, what was it, like 50% of the systems? So could you imagine buying the Xbox 360 for $1,000 or $800 back in the day, and then your system after like 4 months gets the red ring of death? That sucks. And it's not even just that. With the Xbox, I remember the hard drive. I remember going to the store and paying about $100 for a 20 gigabyte hard drive. A year later, they were coming out with systems with 250 gigabyte hard drives for the same price. It's worth waiting on these. Stop buying these things for so much money. It's insane. And as far as the scalpers go, it's everything. Limited edition figures, games, whatever. They are all over it. There was a digital game, I'll never forget it, for Nintendo that came out. It was supposed to be, I believe it was a Nintendo game. I already forgot what it was called. They released a limited edition because it never came out in the US. They released a limited edition digital version, but it came with like a map and a few other little accessories. It sold out in seconds. It was about an $80 bundle. Seconds later on eBay for about $150 to $200. It's a digital game, guys. You can download the damn game. You're paying that money for a map and like a few little accessories. It's a digital Super Nintendo game. What are we doing here? When does it stop? Why? You know what? Let scalpers out there. Why stop here? Let's go get Victoria's Secret panties, limited edition panties, and start selling them at. I mean, maybe that'll sell for $300-$400, dude. I mean, if it's not already happening, I don't know. I don't collect panties, but maybe it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's not happening with that, but it's happening with certain name brand mugs, coffee mugs.
Mugs?
Yeah, coffee mugs. Yes, I forgot the name of it. My wife has talked to me about it before. It's happening with certain mugs. They go in to Home Goods and TJ Maxx and whatever. They buy them up. It's a certain name brand. I forgot the name of it. They buy them up and they turn around and they fucking put them on eBay for double or triple the price. So let me reiterate it. Absolutely, mugs. They target anything that has any kind of name attached to it. If they know it's going to be a hot item, and I'm going to say it again, and I know I'm being repetitive. Too late. You're a piece of shit if you're a scalper. That there's no way around it. You're a piece of shit. You're taking advantage of people. People right now in what everything that's going on, they're looking for something to give them comfort. whether it's collecting figures and getting that new PS5, because, all these restrictions where you can't go out because of the whole COVID thing. And the fact that they're doing this in the middle of a pandemic speaks volumes to who these people are. And to touch on a point you made earlier, how these employees are allowed to do that. What are these managers not paying attention? Are they in on it?
They're in on it.
But here's the thing, though. If you're corporate, and this is, again, GameStop, if you're watching this, highly unlikely, but if you do, you're going bankrupt. Cut the crap. You're going bankrupt. If you're a corporate manager and you're seeing a store manager let employees doing it and the store manager himself is doing it, then you need to fire these people. There's no question about it. And I don't want to hear about, it's their livelihood. Their livelihood, they're turning around and they're buying up all the pre-orders and they're making extraordinary amount of money on a console. You work there, okay? It's already, you already have an advantage that you could pre-order at least yours before anybody else. Apparently that's not enough. Now you got to buy up all the pre-orders and turn around and flip them for double the price. Now, when you say you've seen some of them earlier today, or right before we went on shooting, $800-900. To some people, they'll look at me like, wow, that's a good deal, because I see other people asking $2,000 and $32,000. So they think they're actually getting a deal. You're not. You're not. What you're doing is you're enabling them to continue to do this. And this needs to stop, because there's a certain, it's not monopolizing, obviously not, because it's not a company but it kind of touches on that to a certain degree. And again, it also goes to these companies. And I guess the bottom line is they look at the sale. They don't care if it's one guy buying all of them up. They just look at the numbers, the sales. But what you got to do is start listening to the feedback. And there's a lot of feedback. People are frustrated. They're going to Walmart, they're going here, and they're striking out left and right on these consoles. And then you research it. And then if you research a little bit, if you're Sony and you're Microsoft and you see your consoles being scalped at the amounts that they're being scalped for, why would you stand for this? You should be calling up all these stores and all these companies and being like, we're not going to stand for this. We foot the bill. We have the overhead. We made these consoles. We're not making that kind of profit, and we're not going to allow you to do that. It should be illegal, period.
Now here's the thing. My personal opinion. It's different. It's different if somebody puts an item on eBay and then people bid. Okay? That's different. You're putting something on, people are bidding, they're willing to do it, and some might say, oh yeah, but if you're asking for a price, people are willing to pay it. I get all that, okay? I get all that. But the stories that I'm talking about with GameStop, it was stories of store managers and assistant managers buying up all the stock, okay, before the store even opens, and already putting it on eBay, okay? So how is anyone going to stand a chance against that? Now, the way I look at it is, if you buy a system or a figure or whatever, you buy one and then you end up deciding you don't want it and you put it for sale and then it climbs up to a number like that, that's different. But if you're sitting there and you're putting 5, 6, 7 of them online, I agree with you, that should be at some form of being illegal. That's ridiculous, because especially when the system or game or whatever it is isn't even out yet. So it's like, how the hell does this person already have 5, 6, 7 of these items, and seconds after the pre-order's up, it's already on eBay? That's ridiculous. Clearly, you had no intent in buying it to use it. You clearly bought them to purposely sell them. And then on top of it, when it starts being 5, 6, or 7 of them, you're cutting corners somehow to get these. Like, another example is bots. When it comes to bots in the collecting community, okay? So this isn't so much the consoles, this is collecting. The average person, I don't care who you are, you're not getting 6 or 7 of a limited edition whatever that's coming out. You're not getting it. I'm sorry, especially online. Like Funko does it on their Funko shops and stuff. But then sometimes you go on eBay, seconds after something goes up and sells out, there's somebody with like 5 or 6 of them. the shipping. It shows it. So it's like clearly that person cut corners and did something that the rest of us can't do to get these items. So that's called cheating. And if this was a casino, I'm pretty sure your ass gets banned.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing is, you're absolutely right about all of that. And what's worse is apparently the bots and raiding the pre-orders isn't enough. Then they go to the freaking stores and they raid whatever's left on the stores. It's like, okay, people need to stop being held accountable for this. And these companies who make these products, whether it's figures or consoles, need to take charge of this. Listen to the feedback, listen to the consumer, and say, okay, there's a problem here. We need to get a handle of this. Okay. Quantity limits go a long way. Maybe you sell them on your own. If you're Sony and Microsoft, sell it on your own website. Don't rely on just GameStop and Best Buy. Have enough, because listen, no matter what, the product is going to sell. It's going to sell itself. There's a lot of hype around these two consoles. They're going to sell. And to me, I think they're just looking at the sale, the bottom line number. They're not paying attention to that one particular person at GameStop bought 7 of them and then turned around and within minutes has it on eBay for double or triple or quadruple the price. This is insane. And I'm sorry, the way I feel about it is this should be illegal. I don't know what the hell's taking so long. It has gotten out of control and it needs to stop because they're taking people's patience. They know that people are not patient. We don't live in the most patient world anymore. They know that. And they're using it against people. And the fact that they're doing it in the middle of a pandemic is absolutely disgusting. Yep. Disgusting. Nothing else comes to mind other than disgusting.
Right. And let's be clear, guys, okay? I got a couple things. First of all, Xbox and Sony did do pre-orders on their own websites. Just to give them credit, they did do it on their own websites. So that's the first thing I want to touch on. Second thing, myself and Mike do not care. We were not planning on picking these up anytime soon. Right, Mike? I'm being right?
Yeah, absolutely right. I was not. I agree with you. I'm on board with that. Let them work out the bugs first, because the first batches have a ton of bugs. So we don't. That's not how we work anyway. So this has nothing to do with us trying to get our hands on it. It's just when you see an item like $32,000. Think about this, guys. $32,000 for a $500 console. This has gotten beyond absurd. This is absolute. It's highway robbery. I'm sorry, it just is.
Right. So that's what I wanted to make crystal clear, is that we're not one of these people that are complaining because we couldn't get our hands on it. I didn't even try. I did not go on any websites and try to pre-order. I didn't go to any stores. I don't care. I always wait for that first year or two to let them fix the kinks, fix the bugs, make sure they're on the shelves so I don't have to deal with scalpers, and then I'll pick it up. Second thing I wanted to say, or third actually, because I said the website thing, the third thing I wanted to say was that these are not limited edition. They are not some kind of exclusive. These are the next wave of consoles. They are going to be everywhere. Why is everyone freaking the hell out? Okay, so I don't know. I'm sure you were the same way as me. Sorry, little Johnny, you couldn't get a new Xbox for Christmas this year. You're going to have to get it next year, buddy. Sorry. It's just how the world is, man. I mean, it's a fact, dude. It's one of those things where it's like, if you get it, hey, great, awesome. You don't get it, it's not the end of the world. It's not a limited edition thing. It's not an exclusive or anything. It's not small batches being made. They're going to make more, and then more, and then more. So you'll get them eventually. Just wait.
Just wait. Absolutely. Because if people keep buying from these guys, and clearly, I think we can both agree, and anybody who watches this video, we can all agree on this. Unless you're a scalper, that's absurd. They wouldn't keep doing this if people weren't buying at these crazy prices. So obviously people are buying. And I've said this because it goes back to our first episode. To that gentleman who said they only make $10 to $15 of profit on figures or anything that they scalp, you got to get your head out of your rectum, dude. You're so full of crap. Because this is another perfect example of how me and Respawn Granted were spot on our takes on that whole scalper versus NECA, which, by the way, it's almost as if they watched our video. Because everything we said in that video, they ended up doing.
Yeah.
So if they were making only $15, $20 a pop, they wouldn't even bother. They wouldn't even bother. They're making much more on everything that they scalp. Their profits are much higher. Look no further than these councils right now.
Yeah.
The fact that even one person listed that council or a council for 32, try to grasp this. $32,000. My wife's car didn't cost that money.
Neither did mine.
What are we doing here? Like 32? Are you out of your freaking mind? $32,000. And you know what? Somebody's gonna pay it. If they take a long time to get more into the store, somebody's gonna pay. Maybe not $32,000 unless you're rich, but somebody will end up paying $1,000, $1,500. And I think I speak for myself, and I think I speak for you as well. Stop doing it, guys. Just be patient. Like Respawn Grid just said, just be patient. More is coming. And if these people start sitting on these products and they have nowhere to go with it, they will eventually turn to something else and go do something else. Because this has reached beyond absurdity. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Think about this. I've mentioned the whole pandemic thing. How many kids that want these systems are you making their lives a living hell right now because you're doing this shit?
Right.
I have 2 kids. You have 2 kids. Now, my son is 3.5. My daughter's 5. They're not quite there yet. But if they were older, I'm thinking about my kids also at the same time while we're talking about this and we're doing this episode. I have to look at my son and my daughter when they're older and say, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen this year. Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but why should I have to do that?
You're right.
Because some asshole at GameStop or a bunch of these assholes at Best Buy and GameStop are before the store even opens, are selling out because they're buying them and then they're turning around and selling them on eBay. How ridiculous does that sound?
Yeah, it's crazy. And the thing is, to touch on what you had said about the scalpers only making $10 to $15 on each thing. I saw a video. This is back with when the first Target exclusive Pikachu Funko Pop came out. There was a guy caught on security cameras reaching over the counter and grabbing a case of these. Okay, there's 6. I think there was 6 in a case. They weren't out yet. Okay, so he had asked the worker. The worker said, "Oh, I'm sorry, they're not out yet." Or they're not scheduled to be out yet, or whatever the hell it was. When the worker turned around, he reached over, grabbed the entire case, and booked it. Went to self-scan, scanned something else, and took that with him. Okay? Why would you risk that for about $10 to $15 on each figure? I wouldn't. No, it's ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The guy, and the funny thing was, it wasn't like a young kid. He was a guy in his 50s. What are you doing, Grandpa? What the hell are you doing? You're robbing a case of Pikachu Funko Pops. What the hell are you doing, man? It's ridiculous. And the thing is, those turned around and sold 80, 90, whatever the hell they were, but they turned around and sold for much more than only $10 or $15. I'm telling you that right now. It's just crazy. I mean, like I said, bottom line is, I agree with what you said. It's not the end of the world if you can't get it. But it does suck for someone who's a parent and their kid had their heart set on that whatever it is, figure, game, whatever, and you can't get it. On the flip side, Nintendo, what they kind of did, I thought was, or at least it seems like, I don't want to put words in the company's mouth, but do you remember a while back we talked about the Mario 35th anniversary, the 3 games for the Nintendo Switch? Okay, it was celebrating the 35th anniversary. They said it was a limited run, okay? They were only going to have it out from, I can't remember now. It was only like a 6-month window. Those pre-orders and all that flew. Sold out left and right. They did the same thing with the Nintendo Game & Watch. Limited, we're not doing this for long. It's the 35th anniversary. Pre-orders sold out left and right. Couldn't find any pre-orders. I bet you any money Nintendo did that on purpose, because now you walk into stores, you can find those games everywhere. You can find the Game & Watch. I haven't seen them personally, but I see people put pictures online with like 20 of them in a glass case. So it's almost like they did it on purpose, because they knew that the scalpers were going to go buy like 20, 30, or 40 of these things, and now they're going to be stuck sitting on them because the regular person like myself was able to grab them at regular retail. I didn't have to pay no ridiculous price. So if that's what Nintendo did, then good for them, because not only did they get the regular people like me a chance to get one, but they made that scalper that normally buys 10 or 15 of them buy the 10 or 15 of them, and now he's stuck sitting on them. So
Good for Nintendo.
Yeah,
I'll take. Like I said, I'm a little bit out of touch when it comes to the video game console. I used to be, I used to be very much in it, but no, I'm a little bit out. So again, to go back to your point, it's not like we're trying to get them. I have my Xbox One. It's not even hooked up. I haven't played it in like 2 years. So this has nothing to do with me trying to get one. My kids aren't old enough. It's just about, I think back when my kids get a little bit older, if this problem continues to grow at the rate that it's growing, it's becoming a huge problem. It's not the end of the world, but try telling an 8-year-old that.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what I'm thinking about. And this needs to stop. This goes way beyond figures or consoles. This goes back to the point where you have to sit there and look at your kid in the eye and say, I wasn't able to get it. Because they're not going to understand why.
Yeah.
And they're going to be heartbroken. So as like people like me and you, we get it. We're going to wait. We usually wait anyway. We wait for them to work out the kinks in the first batch anyway. It's about the kids. It's about the kids. And you're taking advantage of not just collectors or video game. You're also hurting kids. You know what I mean? The parents have to look at the kids and say, I can't get it. And then the kids, nowadays they know how to work tablets, 9 years. Well, but it's on eBay. Well, that's too much money. I can't afford that. So then they're disappointed. They don't understand yet fully what's going on with the scalping issue. But the parents have to sit there and look like the bad guy. You say, look, I can't pay $900. It's not that you can't. You shouldn't. You just shouldn't.
That's 2 or 3 consoles, dude, depending on how much you're paying for them. Like, so instead of getting one Xbox or one PlayStation 5 for $1,000 or $1,300, I can go get 3 of them. Why would I do that? Why?
It's absolutely insane. They're targeting, like I said, there's a certain brand, like I said, mug that they're even targeting that my wife can't even find it.
Yeah.
She's going to TJ Maxx. It's like a $5 or $6 mug, and you've seen them on eBay for like $50, $60. It's a $5 mug. Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's gotten to the point where we like to have a good time on both channels, and we like to make people laugh. And we've had episodes where people have said that they laughed the hell out when they watched us. But this one had to happen. It's not funny. It's more about what's really going on and how it needs to stop, because I'm thinking about, as my kids get older, if this problem doesn't go away, I have to, look at that disappointed look on my kid's face, because these clowns, these jackasses are abusing the system. So, and there's got to be a way, and I know there's a way. These companies, you can't tell me that they're all right with this. If I owned Microsoft, I could be like, wait a minute, I'm selling the console for $500. I footed the bill. I paid the people to make the software, make the console, and these clowns just list them for $32,000? No. It's got to stop.
You know what frustrates me the most, though, dude? To be honest with you, for the action figures, it might be a little bit different, because I understand they have limited editions and crap like that, like store exclusives. So I kind of get it. But even for them, it's kind of like tough to kind of swallow. But for this is a console, okay? You cannot tell me when the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox Series, the Xbox One, I'm sorry, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 were out. They had been out already, 5 years? You knew as a company, you're going to eventually make the next wave. You are. So you're telling me maybe by the second year of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, you weren't already thinking about the next Xbox and the next PlayStation and the launch date and all that, and you still cannot make enough for launch days. That's been a problem since what, the PS2 era? We still cannot figure out that, hey, people like video games. The new systems are coming out. Instead of us only making 80,000, why don't we bump that up to 200,000 because it's gonna freaking sell.
I feel like they do it on purpose.
I agree.
They want to deal it. They want to see. First of all, they want to see how it does.
Right.
It's like you know what I mean? And they want to dangle it. And then it's one thing if you want to do it that way, then put quantity limits. You know, find a way to counter the bots. NECA's been doing it. I mean, hell. I mean, and you, like you said yourself, I wasn't aware of that, so I obviously misspoke, and I'm glad you corrected me on that. Microsoft and Sony did do some through their own website, but man, you got to hold these stores accountable that are doing things like this, like GameStop. Like, I'm going to say it again, you're well on your way to bankruptcy. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Karma's a bitch, man. Don't do shit like that. And if you're corporate and you know this is happening and you're letting it do it, and if you're Sony and you're Microsoft and you know this is happening and you're letting it happen, that's just shame on you, man, really. Because the parents that have to look the kids in the eye this holiday season amidst a pandemic and everything else that's going on and say, I wasn't able to get it for you because these jackasses want to abuse the system. Shouldn't happen. It needs to stop.
But the thing that's crazy about it, dude, like when it comes to a brand new system that's coming out, like I said, you already know it's coming out. You already have plans and all that for it to come out. You know it's happening. Why not do something where you do, like, for example, a 2-month open pre-order? That will stop crap like this from happening. Because now the scalpers are going to look at it and go, well, it's not worth me pre-ordering it because it's going to be open for 2 months. Who the hell isn't going to be able to get a pre-order with that large of a window? It's so frustrating, dude, because I can come up with these things that would solve some of these. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm saying you can solve some of these issues. Instead of having a pre-order for like 10 minutes and everything sells out because of bots and stuff, you have an open pre-order. A week, a month, 2 months, whatever. When you do those open pre-orders, I'm not saying scalpers still don't get their hands on it and bots, but when it's an open pre-order like that, you know that everybody that wants them is going to put the pre-order in. So that's good for a couple reasons. One, you want them, you're getting them. And two, the company doesn't get screwed by making way too many and then they have to sit on them. So now you're solving both issues. The company's not making too many, and people that want them are getting their hands on them. You do an open pre-order, everyone gets them. Now, I'm not saying everyone gets them on launch day. That's not what I'm saying, because that would be practically impossible. But if you know that you're planning on releasing those systems in November of this year, why the hell couldn't there be a pre-order open back in March for an entire month, March and April for an entire 2 months or whatever, and then you could already start building and setting them up, knowing that in November you have to start sending these out. So you start sending out the first, 50,000. Then 2 weeks later, another 50. That's how you stop these scalpers, dude. Then you don't see this crap on eBay for $800 to $1,600 because everyone pre-ordered it. So now the company gets their sales, they're happy. The people get their sales, they're happy. The scalpers sit on it and rotate because they don't get nothing. And there you go. Problem solved. But these companies don't want to do it.
And I'm wondering as to why. Like I've thrown out the conspiracy theory in episode 1. I'm wondering if they want to see how much. It's almost like they're testing it to see how much these people are willing to pay on the secondary market. Right. So that way they can justify whatever price increases they come out with in the future. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but like if me and you can figure this out, it ain't gonna be perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than what it is right now. Right. And again, you know what I mean? It's not everybody's gonna get them on launch day. It goes based on when you pre-order. They take them in order, but at least you know you're gonna get yours, and that goes a long way to maybe not completely solving it, but putting a huge dent in the scalpers' pockets and saying, you're not going to keep doing this because we're not going to let you. We're going to have an open window of 2 months where anybody can pre-order. And not only that, but I would do it a year before launch because then you would have a full year to mass produce the consoles based on the pre-orders that you get. And then once you have those pretty much fulfilled based on the order of people, how people pre-order them, then you can start making more to put them in stores slowly, and just replenish that way. It's not hard. I'm just wondering as to why they're not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, it's a small group of people. Let's be honest. It's a small group of people that are going to dish out these eBay prices. It's not going to be everybody, because a lot of people, can't afford it, and a lot of people, I'm willing to bet me and you are not the only people that sit there and go, I'll wait. I'm not going to pay that money. I'll wait. So, you know what I'm saying? So, it probably is part of that.
I'm pretty sure.
Good.
Maybe not, dude, because if I mean, it's, I don't know, man, for them to keep doing this and like list it for 32 grand, something's got to be wrong here, because if it was a small, and I hope that you're right, but if it was a small group of people,
yeah,
they wouldn't be targeting coffee mugs, Target exclusives, you know what I mean? And anything that they know is going to be a hot item, they wouldn't be targeting it. And they sure as hell wouldn't be walking out with a case of Pikachus to make only $10 or $15. So,
but here's the thing: when I say small group,
but outdoors, they're not making $10.
No, but that's the thing. When I say small group, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a decent size, but I mean small compared to the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Probably like 10% out of the 100. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So now, don't get me wrong, 10% of like 3 billion people is still a lot. But I'm just saying as an example, though, and the company's able to test waters with stuff like that too. That's all I'm saying. I'll wait.
I won't even get it. I had no intentions of getting any of the new consoles, because I don't even play the current gen that we were in. Yeah. Like, my PS4 is put away. My Xbox One is put away. I've kind of gone away from it, but it's just, I felt like I needed to talk about it, even though I've gone away from the video game industry and I don't play anymore, just because of the absolute absurdity of some of the prices that we're seeing is that they're listing these eBay is just ridiculous. And I'm hoping that people wise up and just start to become a little bit more patient and just stop buying from them, because you're enabling them to continue to do this and abuse the crap out of collectors and video gamers. So, I mean, at some point, hopefully, between people stop buying from them and the companies making certain adjustments, like you said, an open window pre-order for like 2 months, a year in advance before the item actually hits, would go a long way. Quantity limits would go a long way. And just it just needs to stop. It really does. I mean, I got nothing left to say on it other than that. I think it's just frustrating as a parent, and I'm going to end with that. As a parent, to have to tell your kid that I can't get it because of these clowns. Because again, you weren't planning on getting it. I'm not planning on getting the console at all. But as a parent, like, why should I have to go through that? See the disappointment on my kid's face because you decide you want to be a greedy son of a bitch and sell these consoles for double, triple, or quadruple the price. 32 grand is a lot of money.
The last thing I want to say about the topic too is when you look at how systems have advanced from Nintendo to Super Nintendo, then to N64, the last few years, it's like, how much more are these going to advance? Realistically, graphically, when you think about it, because one of the big pushes that I'm hearing a lot for this current gen, this next gen, is the faster loading times, how things can load up faster and faster. So it's like we're getting to the point now where it's not so much look at the graphics, it's more like look how fast it loads. You know what I mean? Like that's what's honestly. I know there's a graphical upgrade. I know I'm being a little bit sarcastic, but I remember seeing like the PS1 to the PS2, like oh my god, or Nintendo to Super Nintendo. Whoa. Then you look at like the Xbox to Xbox 360. All right, yeah, I can see it. There's definitely some improvements. Then the 360 to Xbox One and PlayStation. All right, yeah, they're there. They're definitely getting a lot better. But now you're looking at this next wave. I mean, granted, it's launch titles, I understand. But you're looking at it, it's like this is what they're really talking about is how fast they load and how quick you can get out of one game and open up another one. It's like so we're getting to the point now where even the systems are advancing, but not leaps and bounds like they used to be. My opinion, anyway.
Not only that, not only are you spot on with that, and you're more in tune with the video game world right now than I am, but haven't we heard all this before?
Yeah.
We heard all this before. Like when it went from the first Xbox to the Xbox 360, oh, the load screen is like a second and it's gone. And then you get the console, it's not a second, it's longer than that. So we've heard all this before. They're gonna push the product, and then you get it. But I completely agree. In terms of graphics, how much more can they push? Is there a difference? I'm pretty sure there is, but it's very minor. And the load times, I'll believe it when I see it, because I've heard all this before when I was into games.
Yeah.
And I heard even from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, oh, there is no load screens. Of course there is. It's a bunch of bull. It's a bunch of bull crap, dude. Yeah. It's like, I get it. You know, they do improve from every generation to the next, but there's not much more room for improvement. So to do all of this harassment,
and that's what I'm saying. Like when you see how they are improving graphically, it's like there's only so much more. I mean, we're getting to the point where we're going to be playing real people. I mean, there's not much more. And another thing, have you noticed? I took out my Sega Genesis not that long ago. I plugged that tank in, and it booted up first shot. That's the original Sega Genesis, dude. Good luck with like any of the newer systems. After like 10, 15 years, they usually crap themselves and they don't work anymore. My Sega Genesis still works, dude. How old is the Sega Genesis now?
Wow.
30 years old?
Yeah. They don't make anything like they used to. And there's a reason for that. So that way they can peddle their next line. Yeah. So they don't want things to last, because if things last, you ain't going to buy their new products. So they purposely make things that way. And it's across the board. It's not just consoles, it's everything.
I was just going to say, even action figures too. Look at all the old school stuff to the newer stuff. It's not the same.
No, it's not.
But me personally, I'm good. This has kind of been a long video, guys, but it's our welcome back video, and we had an exciting topic we wanted to talk about. So, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, not at all.
All right. So I think we said everything we had to about this topic. But do us a favor, guys. Let us know down in the comments below what you guys think. Are you guys picking up a new system? Did you get your hands on the pre-order? Do you not care about the new systems? And just let us know. What do you guys think?
Are you guys fed up with the scalpers as much as we are? Because apparently we're very fed up. But as a parent, can you relate to everything that we've talked about here? Even if you're not a parent, how frustrated are you with this? It's just gotten out of hand. Let us know in the comment section below, what you guys think. Even if you disagree with us. We've had some people that disagree with us in the scalper section before, so I'm pretty sure we'll have it again.
Yeah.
I welcome all comments.
I was just going to say that. We welcome both positive and negative, as long as it's actually, like something we can work with. Don't just be like, you suck. That doesn't work for us. We got to be able to work with each other. Let's talk to each other.
And not only that, but if you're going to criticize us, back it up with facts.
Yeah.
Come at us with something. Don't just don't say that we don't know what we're talking about, and then you don't give us a better solution than things that we talked about.
Right.
It's the way I look at it. If you're gonna defend a scalper, you're probably a scalper yourself. So that's all I got to say about that.
That's it, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Check him out on his channel. I almost said Respawn Granted. Real Batman. Check him out on his channel. I'm Respawn Granted. Thank you guys very much for watching, and stay safe, guys. Take care.
Take care.